Thanks, Josh. Thank you for hosting us. Honored to be here. I am Ed Williams, CEO of NOHM Technologies, soon to be rebranded Sionic Energy, based on a shift of additional breakthrough technology in the company's move from a legacy battery electrolyte company to a full cell manufacturer with breakthrough technology, which we'll talk about. Next slide, please. So the need is really for better batteries, as Elon articulated very well in September at his Battery Day. It's essential that we continue to make progress and really look at the next generation lithium-ion batteries, most notably around cost, ease of manufacturing, excuse me, and performance. Next slide, please. So Sionic Energy is introducing and launching into the market in 2021 a next generation lithium-ion battery that represented on this Rigoni chart, which represents energy based on volume and energy based on weight. You can see it is out ahead of what the projections are of solid state. And it delivers the performance as well as 30 to 35% lower cost. It seamlessly fits into existing manufacturing, and it fits into diverse cell formats, both in terms of cylindrical as well as prismatic and pouch formats. And its technology very similar to my last company, battery company, that was acquired 2 years ago by a North American automotive company. So very, very proven. Next slide, please. So why now? When you look at the next generation lithium-ion battery landscape, there's two primary drivers of technology under consideration. One is solid state, and the second silicon anodes. The solid state will entertain a lithium metal anode. And while the technology is promising, there's numerous technology and manufacturing challenges of substance out ahead of it. And at best, it'll be a 6 to 7 year, perhaps even longer, before it hits mainstream volume production. And the second is silicon anodes, under development by well-funded companies for the past 10 years, still not mainstream or commercialized due to cost, complexities of manufacturing, and its life cycle performance. All of this while the markets, as most of us know, are moving incredibly rapidly and exponentially faster than they had been projected. So the demand for these next generation, low cost, high performance and safe batteries is exceptionally, exceptionally aggressive. Next slide, please. So our path to market, the NOHM Technologies companies has been focused on electrolyte components for batteries, working with these companies worldwide for the past 4 years. We are leveraging on those relationships and integrating our new silicon anode technology for the complete battery design, and already in very active discussions with actually only 3 weeks of outreach into the marketplace after this, pre-launch interchanges that we had with these companies on the full cell battery. Next slide, please. The breakthrough technology and the secret sauce, if you will, for a Sionic battery is number one, the advanced electrolyte, which is really the legacy technology of NOHM's technology. And secondly, the high capacity silicon anode, which is technology, again, very similar to my last company. And the maturity and scalability of that from a technology standpoint has already been proven. So now this combined with the electrolyte gives NOHM's a very, very much a market leading battery to launch in 2021. Next slide, please. Okay. When you look at a little bit of the technology, just very briefly, the companies that are out there using silicon anode technology to gain greater performance in batteries use very complex and expensive nanograde material. Secondly, they apply a very complex, expensive process to that material that drives up the cost. And third, they do not integrate electrolytes that can enhance and are actually critical to enable the high capacity silicon anodes. So what Sionic does is very simple, pure micron-sized silicon, untreated, unprocessed, combined with a conductive binder, put into a normal electrode fabrication process that the industry uses today for lithium-ion batteries, creating a very resilient, high-capacity silicon anode, and then complemented by a high performance from conductivity, as well as resiliency from an advanced electrolyte product in the battery. Next slide, please. Practical example, if you take a look at the Tesla Model 3 long range and the batteries in the 21700 packaging format that are in that today, you put our battery technology in that same package, you're going to increase the energy density 50% and the specific energy 40%, or practically speaking, if you want to size the pack for the same range, you'll do it at 35% lower cost and 27% lower weight. If you want to fill the capacity of the current battery pack in that long range completely, you'll get 33% longer range. That's in excess of 450 miles, and you do it at 12% lower cost. Next slide, please. So in essence, the approach that we've taken for this high capacity silicon battery is really designed it for full scale commercialization. Three major components. One is you start with very low cost silicon materials without adding expensive processing. You can see the comparative cost. The cheapest silicon battery that's being thought about and not yet mainstream today is almost six times the cost of our material. Secondly, a very unobtrusive fit into the existing as well as planned rapidly expanding lithium-ion battery infrastructure. And third, absolutely essential to complement that with a protective as well as high performance electrolyte design. Again, a legacy from the NOHM Technologies companies. Next slide, please. And the path to market is very rapid and very unique for any new technology, again, because of its proven ability, as well as the progress and the knowledge of the team. But in Q4 this year, we'll have full production scale prototypes into the market, seeded for product evaluations. We have a couple of the companies you saw earlier actually asking us if they can fund parallel development paths so that they can get prototypes earlier. And the business model, very capital efficient, is a licensing because, again, of the ease with which it can fit into the existing ecosystem. And the ask is a $7 million equity investment. And that brings us to profitability in 2023. And then any relationships along the way, either in manufacturing or customers, would certainly be welcome.
Thank you, Ed.
Next slide, please. Sorry. The team is very deep in experience. I have 15 years in the battery experience. I've done 5 technology startups, 3 successful exits. The CTO is the legacy NOHM Technologies, a brilliant chemist. And then June Bai, our VP of R&D, 30 years with Samsung SDI, including leading their open innovation team. Thank you. Welcome all questions.
I have a quick question, actually. Do you have any advantage over other product in hazardous waste?
I didn't hear that full question. You broke up a little bit.
I'm sorry. Do you have any advantage over other product in hazardous waste at the end of a product life, a battery life?
In hazardous waste materials?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Batteries, come with one of the another technology limitation that we have is the batteries has a lot of hazardous waste at the end of life cycle, right? So I was wondering how your product is actually have any advantage on there in that field.
Yeah, I can't articulate today what that would be. We may have some advantage because we use very untreated and very pure micron silicon, which is pervasively available in the environment, but I can't identify anything specifically today that would reduce the hazardous waste.
Right, that's what I asked, because you're silicon based, and the silicon usually, I'm not an expert by any means, but it sounds like that could be your advantage as well. So,
yes, thank you.